Hi, my name is Mike Anderson. I am the president of Captivate Agent, and I'm excited to introduce you to the Captivate CRM and help you get started on the setup. Now, I want to be clear about expectations and want to make sure that this is the best possible experience that you can have. Technology is not always easy to adapt, and we want to make it easy for you. So first of all, just kind of a warm up to make sure that you are excited about this and don't get overwhelmed. Give yourself some time. Take a breath whenever you run into something that doesn't seem to be exactly like you thought, or you have to learn something. This is going to help you grow your business like nothing else you've done. You need to have this technology in place. It's going to take a little bit of time to get used to it all, and you'll continue as we help you to build and grow this system so that your people get exactly what they want when they want it without you having to be the person to manually give it to them every single minute. So get excited. And don't get overstressed or overworried about it. Give yourself at least a week or two, at least, to kind of get things set up. I know you're anxious to get it set up right away. Whenever we buy something new, we want to use it immediately, and I get it. But if you can give yourself a couple of weeks for the setup, and I would say probably 2 to 3 months before things really start churning and just doing what it needs to do as you kind of continue the setup process, okay? So remember, this is your business. This is a business that's going to distinguish you from all the other agents out there trying to do the same thing you are. But if you want to separate yourself from all those other agents, you've got to have technology like this and best practices that will teach you, that will set yourself above all those others that are basically just doing status quo stuff. Okay, so hopefully that got you excited. Now, what's going to happen is you're going to get this email. It's going to come from Captivate Agent. Now, the Captivate CRM is powered by Lofty. So yes, Lofty is a very well-known software out there. Why not go directly to Lofty? Well, one, we actually give it to you for what they sell it for, or even sometimes less, just out of the box. But we're going to give you a lot of extras that come with what we built into it. As well as the coaching and training that go along with it. We are production agents, meaning we don't just teach you about things you should be doing, and we haven't done them for years, like a lot of coaches. I actually require our whole team to be licensed and producing. Our goal is to help you get to 2 to 3 deals per month, consistently every single month, and then get to about $15,000 to $20,000 of passive income in 5 to 10 years so you can retire. We'll get into that other stuff later, but as far as the purpose of this system, it's to help you build that kind of business that will get you to that level. So when you get this email, it will say Captivate Agent here, but it will come from Lofty. Don't worry about that, and get excited about what we're going to help you do. So you'll click on the link that says Activate the Captivate Agent CRM, and then you'll get this page that will show up. Yours will show 0% in terms of what's been set up, obviously, because you haven't done anything yet. I've got a few things that have started with this setup on this account that I'm using, but just know that you'll just have the one. The other 3 will show locked for now, most likely because you haven't gotten to that point yet. Again, don't worry about anything. If you ever get stuck, you can always hit the skip button. Just try to move forward instead of stopping altogether and getting frustrated, okay? Not that you'll get frustrated, I know, but I get frustrated when I do technology all the time. And then when I find out how to do it, I'm like, oh yeah, that was easy. But before I figure that out, I get frustrated. So I totally get it. So on the first step here, I want you to hit the profile setup. So I'm going to review mine, but yours will be actually setting it up. And the first thing you're going to do is you're going to add your picture. You're going to put in your position, most likely just going to be agent, but you have some options between broker, associate, broker, or you can customize it. You know, as long as your broker's all right with the customization that you make, whatever title you want, totally cool. And then you're going to put in your agent ID. So I'll show you all those things first. So you do need a headshot. If you want to pause the video and go find it, that's totally fine. So you can kind of do this along with me, or just know that you're going to need a headshot in there. When you do that, you're going to upload your picture. It's going to give you the ability to resize it in some way if you want. Not really resize the image. The image will come in as it is, but kind of what is going to be shown on the website. So if you want it to be less tied, you know, a little bit more space around you, some white space looks nice always. You can kind of fiddle with it like that. You can always change this stuff later on. So that's another thing I hope that you'll get through this kind of initiation or this setup, is that nothing you do here is going to break the system. Nothing is going to be, set in stone. You can change it. So just kind of get through with what you can. And, if you don't like your headshot that you have right now and you plan on taking one, don't stop everything and don't, wait to put your site together because you don't like your headshot. Just put in there what you got. And then as, that headshot comes in, you get the new picture, then you can update it on the back end, which I'll show you how to do as well. So I'm going to hit the check mark. If you missed that, this is important because a lot of people miss that. I'm going to do that again. So you'll put your picture in, and then you'll kind of set it up the way that you want in terms of what it shows. And then you're like, okay, what do I do now? And a lot of people will hit the X button. That, of course, closes it, and then there's nothing that's happened. So down here at the bottom, you'll see all these little icons. You might miss it. There's the check icon. That's mostly what you're going to see. So you're going to hit that check icon, and then it's going to update that picture. Okay. Then use agent as your position, or if you're a broker associate, a broker, or if you want to customize it, you can do that here. And then you're going to add your agent ID. So to do that, you're going to type in, or actually you shouldn't have to type into it because we've set this up for you. It should actually select for you the MLSs that are available in your area or that you're a member of. If this is not the case, you can skip this. I'll show you where you can go back and do this later, but we want to get to this setup if possible. So you may have an option for a couple of MLSs. Later on, you can add more than one, by the way, but you're going to choose the primary one. And you might even see something like this where it says IDX or VOW. This is the way it is in non-disclosure states like where we are. So you want to choose the IDX option if you've got more than one option. Okay, so for most of you, you probably just got one option, so I just wasted a whole bunch of your time. But for some of you that see these other options, I don't want you to get too scared or too worried. Just pick the one that says IDX. If there's multiple IDX, pick the one that is actually your MLS or your primary MLS. Okay, then again, you hit that checkbox. Okay. And then, before you hit the checkbox, you have to type in your name. This is the name that you have registered with the MLS in your area, the one that you chose. So in my area, it comes in as Michael S. Anderson, uses almost my full name because there's more than one Mike Anderson. And then, of course, there's your ID, your MLS ID. Make sure that matches in case there's more than one option. Okay. Then you hit that checkbox and then you hit save. Okay, and then it'll save it for you. After that, you can hit the next button, and you'll be able to add your social media connections. Now, I want this to be really clear in this little setup scenario here where we get, some people might get stuck a little bit. Nothing here has to be completely done at this point, and you can always hit the back to setup overview and go to other options so you're not getting stuck somewhere. If you don't have a Facebook business page or Instagram business profile, because they have to be the business profile and pages, not just your own. If you don't have a YouTube or LinkedIn or Google at this point, don't fret, don't worry. We'll get you there. Again, like I said, give yourself some time, even 2 to 3 months all in all, before all these things are set up. Because obviously, if you don't have these and you're a newer agent, or you just have never bothered getting them set up or knew why to use them, they're going to take some time to get those set up. Okay. Now, on your website setup, which is next, I know you're anxious to get your website set up. I'm going to show you some preliminary things you can do here in this Getting Started page. Again, we'll go to another location where you can explore Lofty. You'll see that right here, where we can get other things with the website set up down the road. Okay, so I'm going to hit continue. And the first option you're going to have is to choose a template. Now, this is really important. We're trying to get it down to where you only see the Captivate template. So that's what it says right here, Captivate template. Now, you're likely going to want the Captivate template. However, if you're with a team or brokerage, and we've set up the entire team or brokerage, you might have a template for that team or brokerage, and you'll see that here. It'll always be under custom templates. So I want you to click on custom templates. Now, you might be tempted to go through and look at, wow, look at all these other cool templates. I like these colors or these setups. We're not just trying to help you set up a nice brochure website. We want a website that generates leads for you, right? And so we've basically developed these custom templates so that it will help to generate leads, especially as we go through the coaching that we offer. That it's basically, you don't have to pay extra for it if you didn't know that. All of that coaching comes with what you've purchased here. So you'll have access to that, but choose the templates we created. Then within those templates, I'll show you how you can update them in 100 different ways. We're talking colors and branding, of course, for you, but also pages and widgets and custom landing pages. The sky's the limit. You don't need one of these other templates in order to get a good start. Our templates are going to give you a whole lot more than some of those kind of brochure setup templates. They look pretty, but they don't have a lot of the components that are going to help generate leads. So know that you'll be able to make them look as pretty as you want on your terms, but select the template. Okay, so once you select the template, you can even preview it if you want, so you can see it. But again, don't judge it by, oh, I don't like that picture. I want a different picture. That doesn't fit my area or whatever. Please know that these things can be changed. But we've created a template that's going to help generate leads. And this is just going to help you kind of get that started through this template. Okay. Let me close this, and then you'll go to provide your website domain next. Now, here's another sticky point if you're not sure what to do. You're going to get a domain by default that's going to be your name dot search dot homes if you're coming up, on your own as a real estate agent. If you're coming in with a team or a brokerage that the whole team and the whole brokerage is doing the Captivate CRM, then it'll most likely be your name dot broker name or team name.com, whatever was purchased. And then you also have the option to do a custom domain or a vanity URL. Again, I don't want you to be so, worried about all this that it just stops you, right? That's what happens a lot of times. I know I keep saying this, but I just want you to be able to keep moving forward. That's how important it is just to keep moving forward. So, in here, if you have a domain that you already own and you want to use it, you can type it in. Like I have this domain called Turinda.com. And if I put that in there and I hit confirm, it'll ask, are you sure that's what you want to use? Because it's going to set it all up with you, and then it's going to get it sent through the MLS. If you haven't gotten that domain approved through your MLS, that will be something that will hold it up a little bit. But there's, again, nothing wrong with that. That's just the process that we go through. So if you're not sure if you want to use that domain or you don't have one yet or anything like that, we're just going to skip all this, okay? You can get back to it later. But if you already know your domain that you want to use, like let's say you're coming in, you already had a domain that you were using before and you want to port it over to this with this, Captivate CRM and the website that you're going to get, go ahead and confirm that. And then you'll go through the connection to the MLS and you'll get prompted with the basic things that you'll have to do here. Again, if you get stuck with any of that, you can let us know and you can go back to the setup, which I'll show you in a minute on the back end, where you can update anything and everything at any time. Like I said, if you don't have a domain and you want to get one, then you click there and then you can type in and see if it's available. So this is where, kind of like if you went to GoDaddy.com or something like that, you could go in and let's see if I want to do Mike Anderson Realtor, or I'll put Utah Realtor. I mean, I'm sure there are a lot of Mike Anderson Realtors out there. So let's see if this is even available. I can hit search now, and then it's going to give me some options for that. Oh, it's actually available. It's going to cost me $15 if I choose that and I buy it through Lofty, through the Captivate Agent CRM. As I say all this and I'm giving you lots of options, you're like, I'm not sure yet. I'm going to keep looking around. All those things that kind of might hold you up. I want you to just not worry about it whatsoever. So that's when you hit this back to setup overview, and then it might say something like 33%. That's just fine. So let's now move on to the next step. In most cases, I would say with most of you watching this, this is where you're going to leave this at. Don't worry, you're going to get this website set up in no time, but we're just not going to complete it here during this setup overview, okay? Now, on the communication setup, this is where you can set up your email to integrate with it. You really want that to happen, obviously, because you want emails that are sent out on your behalf to be your email, right? And when people reply, you'll get it on your phone or wherever you can collect email, as well as within the CRM. So I have a Gmail account that I'm going to connect it to. If you don't have a Gmail, let's say you have Hotmail or some other, or you're doing it at your own domain, right? Something that you set up at, it's MikeAndersonRealty.com. And so you've got Mike at, MikeAndersonRealty.com or something like that. Then you can connect it through this IMAP SMTP setting. So to do that, you just hit connect, and then it's going to ask you for the email address, the password, the IMAP server, and the SMTP server with the ports that go with along with that, and the security code. And you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know what this all means. Okay, don't worry about it. A couple of things can happen here. One is, if you do have an email address that you've been using, something that's your professional email, but it's at Hotmail or something like that, you can go to ChatGPT or use even just a Google search and ask a question like, what are the SMTP and IMAP servers and port information for a Hotmail account? It will then spell it all out for you. It's a pretty basic thing, but you've probably never heard of this before. But then it gives you all this information, right? And then you can plug that into your window here. This right here, it says click here to learn how to connect it. It's either outdated, I've noticed, or it doesn't even work. I'll click on it right now. Yep, oops, the page doesn't exist. Because it could be unique to all sorts of different servers or services. I want you to either use ChatGPT or do a Google search on it, or send us a request at support@captivateagent.com. We'll be happy to work through that with you, okay? If you have a Gmail account, it makes it a little bit easier, because then it just pops up and says, well, which Gmail do you want to use? Oops, I actually don't want to use that one. I want to use Mike at Captivate Agent. There we go. And then I hit continue. And then, it's letting me know to make sure that I trust Lofty. Yes, I do. So I'm going to continue. And then, okay, you already connected this Gmail account with another CRM. So basically, I'm doing this as a test, but it's connected it here. It's just letting me know that it was already connected with another account. So usually you won't get error messages. Again, if you get an error message or something that you can't figure out, please don't fret and just let us know. And then I'll show you on the back end, which when I keep saying that, I'll show you where that is in just a minute, where you can do that. Now, the next step in here is to set up your calendar. Because I use Google, I also have a calendar, but I also use Calendly. If you haven't used that before, I actually have my personal calendar in Google or with Gmail, and then I have my business one. Well, I don't want people to make appointments with me during time that I'm also out on vacation, or stuff that I might put on my personal calendar. So I want both of them to be there. So I'm going to connect my Calendly calendar. Now again, if you don't have Calendly or never used it, just connect your Google one. If you use Outlook, use that. If you don't use any, just go back to Setup Overview. Again, you do not have to set this up right now. It's not going to do anything against you being able to get things set up and get things going. Okay. Now, if I hit next, it's going to let me know that I've got all of my communications set up on this, Setup Overview, right? But it doesn't, show that I've finished my website, because I skipped that. So as you can see here, I can get some things done all the way, some part way, etc. It all does not matter. Now, one thing I do want to point out that I didn't before is to see that the domain that you're logging into is crm.captivateagent.com, and you get this logo up here that shows Captivate Agent. We have basically white labeled Lofty to build it out the way that we did. If you ever get redirected to crm.lofty.com, or you see the Lofty logo up here at the top without it being part of the CaptivateAgent.com, and you're having trouble logging in or seeing your stuff, most likely it's because you're in the wrong place. So make sure that you bookmark crm.captivateagent.com. And when you set up your app on your phone, you'll do the same thing to get it in the right location. And then you won't have any trouble. Just to let you know if you ever run into that issue. Okay, now if I go to Build Database, this is where on the first one there is a guided video. This is created by Lofty. We didn't have the ability to put our own video in here, which is fine, because what they have in here is actually some really good information. There will be a few tiny things that are a little bit different with us in our setup, but it doesn't really matter, especially at first. So I want you to watch this video. Please take the time to walk through and listen to what they have to say. It's a very short video, but it has a lot of really good information. Now, as you go next, you have the ability to import existing leads. Now, if you're an agent that has hundreds to thousands of leads and you can export them in a CSV or an XLS file, like an Excel spreadsheet file, better in a CSV, by the way, you can convert it to that in your other spreadsheet software. You'll be able to upload them all at once. Now, obviously, if you're going to upload information to a database, the fields have to match. So if you go to, and this is in the video, what's it called? Lofty. It's in the video, so it'll tell you where you can go. But we actually provide this as well. It's a sample file of what your database should look like. Now, that doesn't mean you have to manually add all your people here in the spreadsheet. You can download your spreadsheet from your other CRM or wherever it came from, and you're just going to match up fields. And that video talks a little bit about that. So that's why I want you to watch it. But basically, I want you to see here that the kind of fields that are going to go into your CRM, into the Captivate CRM, are going to be things like lead type, obviously first and last name, email address, phone number. Basically, that's really all that's required. Adding other information about that contact as you learn about how to use the CRM is going to give you the ability to reach out to those people automatically in a meaningful way. So you're not just blasting something to everybody. So I wanted you to see this spreadsheet because it's going to be looking for that kind of information when you import it. If you import information that's not laid out like that, totally fine. It'll just have you match up fields. Say, okay, it's first name over here. What's your database call the first name field or last name field or whatever it is, right? And there's groups and stuff like that, and you can match those up. Now, if you want to go through it this way and then just keep hitting the next button, it'll show you how to connect your Zillow account, your Realtor.com account, other lead channels, automation campaigns, all sorts of cool stuff. Again, if it's beyond what you are wanting to do or capable of doing right now, just don't worry about it. Just go back. If you want to go ahead and try to upload it, go for it. Just make sure that when you upload that those fields match well, because once it's uploaded, it's going to be hard to undo that because it's going to put all that data into your database, all those people. And if some of those fields are mismatching, you're going to have to manually go into each one and change whatever the information was that wasn't correct. Okay. Now, it does have this option to request Lofty assistance. I recommend this for anybody that has a really large database. Go ahead and get our assistance or Lofty's assistance. Hand them over your 4,000 person database, and they'll help you. So going back to my overview, you can see here that I've only got 33% of my website set up and 17% of my database. Really haven't set too much up there. So I'm going to now hit this thing that says Explore Lofty. This is basically your database and your website and everything already set up. So that's how quickly things were set up. You just have to add a little bit more information. Like, for example, if I go to my website here, it's actually trying to get that set up for you using the template that was picked. Your name.search.homes is automatic, or if you're with a brokerage or a team, all that's going to be there automatically. And you do not have to have a vanity URL. If you're coming in with a team or brokerage that did a minimal setup for that team, meaning that the broker gets a website, but it's not paying for any of the team members, you might have to pay a little bit extra for that. And we'll teach you why you want it and how it's going to help you build that 2 to 3 business or 2 to 3 closed deals every month, which is our mission to help you to do. Then we can work with you to get that done. Okay. So where you are left off on this website setup, it'll say select the domain you want to use. If you want to select a domain, you can, or you can just hit skip. I recommend for almost everybody that I'm showing this to, hit the skip button. If you don't absolutely know the domain you want to use, you're absolutely positive, you can always set this up later. So just hit skip. Okay. Then you can go to choose your MLS. This is what's going to get that website live. So I'm going to hit choose MLS, and then I got to choose that that MLS, and you're going to look it up. So mine is the Wasatch Front. regional, it's the WFRMLS if you're in this area, Utah Real Estate IDX. Choose the IDX there, okay? And then it's going to have me choose or look it up by name, just kind of like what you did before when you're doing the communications. So Michael S. Anderson, right? Make sure it matches that number, right? And then I put in my agent email. Make sure your phone number is correct. This is how they're going to get a hold of you. Your agent full name, just leave that in there because that needs to match your MLS ID. There's my ID number. It pulled that in. There's my agent license number. Then I have to put in my broker's email and my broker's first and last name. So my broker's name is Kristen Perkins, okay? And then I have to put in my broker's email, and her email is right here. And I've got the office name and office address. If these things are pre-populated, obviously just leave them in there. And they're pre-populated because of what you had selected earlier in terms of your agent info that it found, right? So once I get all that information filled out completely, right, it says the broker may need to sign the application as well. That sometimes happens if you haven't had this IDX set up before. I hit submit then, okay? And then now it's saying that it could take up to 10 business days for this to happen. Now, it takes the longest, obviously, when this has never been set up before. If you've done IDX before or prior to this, then it shouldn't take as long. You are welcome to call up your broker. Let them know what you're doing. If by chance you don't have an IDX key set up yet, you may have to go into your MLS login and request that IDX key so that you can do that. In Utah here, it costs us $50. It's a one-time cost. And once we've set it up, it's set up for life or as long as you're a member of that MLS. So if you have any questions about that, obviously you're going to want to talk to your broker, and then you can reach out to us as well. If you need to take any action, like this says, your request to connect to the MLS with Lofty has been received. Action required. To get started, please find the attached instructions. If you download those and find them, these are just pulling instructions from that particular MLS. So you can follow those if you haven't, or like I said, just talk to your broker. I'm going to hit OK. And so now you can see that I've got everything set up. So my website is at least got everything that I need to provide to it to make sure that it will be live. Now, if you go to your domain, so if I copy this now, it'll probably let you know that it's under construction or it's going to be set up. So yeah, coming soon. Our website is under construction, etc. You will be able to check that as often as you want until it's set up. But most likely, it's going to take a few days or more to get everything set up that you're going to need. Okay. Now, let me go back here. So we were in the setup for your website, obviously. Now I want to show you around some of the other areas of this CRM, including the website, which is the front end side of it, and then the database and all the other functionality that goes along with that, which we call the back end, or the customer, or you have the customer facing, and then of course the agent facing. So this is kind of the agent facing side of that. So under the website, you can see that I have an editor where I can edit the site. And just to show you quickly around, because we have other videos to go through this with you, all these pages have been created for you. You can update these pages. Like let's say, for example, on this picture, like, well, I want to use a different picture. This is where it's at. You can upload a mobile image, which you should do as well. That's mobile friendly. You can choose, if this this field search right here goes across the page, all sorts of things. And throughout the whole page, all these different setup things, we're going to teach you how to update them, and they're very, very easy to do. If I click on any one of these kind of widgets and I hit the edit button, you can see that where it says homes for sale where you want to live, and then how many listings to show, and all sorts of different things. We'll go through that with you so you can customize your website the way you want. And then most importantly, we'll show you what kind of features your website has to really generate a bunch of leads. There's listings that will show up automatically once things get set up. Right? If you have any listings, nothing's been set up here yet, obviously. The ability to blog, right? Areas that you focus in, we'll teach you about that, about farming on your website. So farming isn't just a good thing to do out there, you know, in the field where you're knocking doors or putting out postcards or advertising. It's also something you do digitally and that people can find through searches. So we'll show you how all that is managed here with the widgets, the SEO, and the other settings that go along with that, okay? Now, again, if you ever want to get back to the CRM itself, crm.captivateagent.com is where you go. It'll get you to that login, right? And that's the username and password that you'll originally create. And then you get to this dashboard. Now, it is going to, you know, when I say it, the system is going to show you all sorts of different features. Some of them you pay for because they're advertising features. You know, like for example, it's letting me know that it can advertise in this zip code 84005, and I can check now what kind of advertising options I have. Obviously, you do not have to do any of these, and we'll even show you which ones seem to work and which ones that we recommend and how much money you might want to spend. So just get ready for a lot of great training that goes along with that, okay? The other thing I want to show you in here is this is the most important part. This is where all your people are, right? So this is where you've updated people or you've added them manually. Now, here's where you add a lead, right? If you want to add one particular lead or one lead individually, here on this, the 3-dot elliptic here, you can import leads. So remember before where you might get stuck, like I'm not ready to upload my database, I don't know if it's ready, my spreadsheet, etc. You can still get your CRM going with your website and this back end without having, you know, to upload those leads. And we'll help you upload those if you need to. There's transaction management. Here's your calendar. If it's not integrated yet, this is where you can come in here and do that integration. You can create a task, of course, once you've done it and do all sorts of really great stuff, but it's integrating my calendar as I showed you before. If you don't have it integrated yet, this is where you would do it. Oh, do you want to do a Google Calendar, Outlook, or Calendly, etc.? And then which calendars do you want to put in there and stuff like that. So all these options are going to be available to you even after you do that setup. So again, if you skip a lot of those things in the setup, don't worry. This is where marketing is, where you'll be able to do listing blasts, which are really great. Here's your social studio. And this is where you can set up those social media accounts that maybe you didn't do before. And so we'll have videos to show you how to navigate through all this and do some additional setup. So the next thing I want to show you is the school location. So skool.com, if you're not already a member, /Captivate Agent. Please join. It's totally free. Even if you haven't decided if you want to be part of the CRM, doesn't matter. You can come in here and get tons of information, ask questions, get answers. Everything you need is going to be in here. So let me show you around a little bit. In this community is where you can ask questions. We have ongoing discussions about everything from lead gen to the CRM to whether it's how-to or best practices. We've got agents from all over providing insight. Please get involved and share and ask, and this is a great resource for you. Now, in the classroom, this is where you have the ability to get through the rest of the setup. So where it says Captivate CRM onboarding. So if you look at, so the second row, first icon here with the puzzle pieces, you'll click on that, and then you'll meet Braden and maybe some other trainers that will walk you through step by step how to do basically everything in the database, in the system. And then if you have any questions, you can reach out and ask those questions through school or just send to a request at support@captivateagent.com. But I went through just really quickly kind of this initial setup, and the main purpose is for you not to get stuck. I don't want you to get stuck. I want you to just keep moving forward. Then you might come in here and go in about customizing the CRM with your brand. So Braden will walk you through that. Verify and edit your information, setting up your calendar. You can skip through these. You don't have to go through them all because maybe you already have your calendar set up, etc. This will get you all the way through setting up your IDX website, etc. Then there'll be other training and coaching available in this classroom of school, so that you can do everything from your listing presentation to other customizations on your CRM, even to building your own campaigns and all sorts of great stuff. Again, please take a breath, give yourself time. Know that in time you will learn all the things that you want to do, and even the things that you don't even know you could do. We will get you there. I would recommend spending 1 hour a day. We call it the power hour. Eventually, that power hour is going to be generating new business through prospecting and using the CRM to do that. But until you have your system set up, you really can't be effective during that hour. So what I want you to do is start your power hour now and use that to set up your system every day. I want you to be busy, do whatever it is that you're already doing to go out and get business, whether you're buying leads or working with the team that's bringing in leads, whether you're working with your SOI, knocking neighborhoods. Do whatever you need to do to keep that business going, but spend at least 1 hour a day over the next few weeks or so to continue to get that CRM set up. And then it's going to start generating business for you as well. So the combination of the two efforts are going to do a ton of good for you. I'm excited to work with you. My name again is Mike Anderson, and I'm committed to helping you get to that 2 to 3 deals a month and that $15,000 to $20,000 a year. I'm sorry, I keep saying a year, a month in passive income that in 5 to 10 years, you'll get to that point and then you'll be set for life. So get a hold of me anytime you want through school, send a message. I'll always respond to it. Let's get you going.